you're a native of St. Vincent and immigrated to Brooklyn, New York when you were a child. You recently received the Award of Distinction from Vinci, which is the Vincentian American Independent National Charities, Inc. organization, which included a proclamation from Congresswoman Yvette D. Clarke and a city council citation from Councilwoman Mercedes Narcisse. You said that this award was originally scheduled for 2020, but postponed until now. With everything happening the way it is, it has, does this award now have extra meaning for you? And also, what does it mean to you to represent that island and know that so many people that also represent St. Vincent are like so proud of your accomplishments?
Yeah, it definitely has a bigger meaning now. In many ways, it was like the award ceremony, it ended up with like a standing ovation. I am never one to brag. I am the humblest of them all. But it was touching to the point like I started choking up. Like there's a whole room of people. I know probably 10 people in the room, and 7 of them or 8 of them are my family. So it's just like all these people are coming up because there's a sense of pride, there's a sense of celebration, there's a sense of we made it, there's a sense of, Vince is now on a bigger platform because in the realm of the islands, like we're small. The font is generally bigger than the size of the island on most maps. So we are a small island people, and we've had some great success stories from artists, musical artists, visual artists. But for me, just having that moment come when it did, it was really touching. And it's one of those things where everything happens in time and the universe always has a plan, where in 2020, if I got the award then, of course, I'd still feel the same way. I'd still feel excited. I'd still feel a sense of pride. But now seeing that how much this role has meant to me, my family, but so many people, the thousands upon thousands of people who are from St. Vincent, who immigrated here, or whose parents were from St. Vincent and they were born here. Like I always, when people ask me my bio, I always open up. I immigrated here from St. Vincent. I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, and I'm Rastafarian. Those are 3 things that are very integral to my own life. And having this award from Vinci be honored and shared, it opened up even to more people who were happy because it also was representation from them. They're like, look, so good to see you. So great to see this happening. Like it means a lot for the island. So it felt great. Like if I got in, 2020, I would love it. I'm not gonna kid ourselves. But now that it happened in concert, timing wise, with the announcement going public, the award ceremony happening a couple days ago, honestly, it's one of the best memories I have to end the year. And it helps set me up for the future because it shows there's such a big village out there ready to back you in a way that you don't realize until that moment. And I was joking with somebody, I see in your background, like, when Black Panther showed up, it's like, all right, ready to roll. And then all of a sudden you saw all of the soldiers, all the warriors appear. It felt very much kismet to that idea that there's so many people that have my back and are championing me. I don't even know who they are. They are some degrees of separation, but they are invested in my success because it means so much for them. It means so much for the island, and it means so much for the community that I've had a great outpouring of somebody saying, look, how can we help? Here's what we can help you on. So it's been really touching. And, watching my family in the audience, my mom crying, family crying, like it's a moment I didn't think was possible, but I realized all the things I've taken in my life, all the decisions I've made have in turn made me, and then as a result made this moment possible.
Amazing. Love it. And I mean, just saying personally, well deserved. And like we stayed in touch, and I know you stay in touch with certain people. I stay in touch with certain people. We have a lot of like converging, friend groups, and I haven't seen one person that wasn't like, all caps on Instagram, congratulating you, loving on you. And it's just well-deserved. Like you're an amazing person, super humble. You've always been the same guy since I've known you, junior high school till now. You've been the same person. So well deserved.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So one of the last questions, you mentioned that your Rastafarian faith is very important to you. You've traversed so many different like spaces. You went to Philippa Schuyler, which was a school, you know, we had to test to get in, distinguished school. You went to Bronx Science, which out of all the the top schools in New York, that was like the one that everybody wanted to go to. You went to a prestigious college, University of Michigan. You've financed schools now in your role at Brooklyn Children's Museum. How has your faith helped you manage, you know, moving through those spaces? Because I can imagine, especially as someone who you've always had dreads. From the time I knew you had dreads, you wore your leather dread cap to school. You know what I mean? Like you've always like you've never compromised when it came to that. And I can imagine that in certain spaces that might be a point of contention for some people. So like could you detail just a little bit about how your Rastafarian faith has kind of helped you, you know, get to the point that you're at now?
Yeah, I'll definitely get into that. A funny story, funny used loosely, is my first year in investment banking. I went to go talk to, so we have sales traders and et cetera. So I went to go talk to somebody on the team. Showed up, I think it was probably 2 or 3 months in. Said, "Hey, I'm Atiba. Are you so and so?" Like, "Oh yeah, yeah, great." It's like, "Oh, you're here to fix the computer?" It's like, "Actually, I'm not." And in many ways, that person and I became really great friends. He was super apologetic, like profusely apologetic to. We learned a lot about each other because I learned about his faith, his history, and things like that. So that became, it's a weird point where obviously I could have taken it back and got really offended by it. But part of that process allowed him and I to connect even more. So that is a tangent into like one of the core principles of being a Rasta is humility and peace. Like, you know, you listen to obviously Bob Marley's well known. All of his songs are all about peace in the community and bringing people together. There's a key part of that message and that world that what carries it through. It's all about community. It's all about supporting each other. It's all about pushing each other forward. It is against anyone that tries to impress and oppress anyone, regardless of race, creed, identity. If you are an oppressor, you are seen as the evil component of our world. So that has allowed me to show up in a very different way in all the different spaces because I carried with me a sense of pride. Like my parents made a decision to raise all of us this way, but more importantly to their testament, I remember I was coming home from school, I think from high school at the time, and where we lived, you can see where the train lets us off and we walk up. So my parents saw me like, "Oh, can you come into the room?" My first mind was like, "Oh shit, what did I do? What did I do today? What did I do?" I didn't get caught, so I didn't do anything. So they're like, "Look, you were born as a Rasta, but it's on you to make that decision, and we don't want you to feel like you're forced into it." So I spent a lot of time just teaching myself and relearning some things, and that has always been a through line to everything I've done because it is rooted in the community. When you look at things like Naya Bingi and Bingi and just the way Rastas tend to congregate, it's very much a loving environment. If I have food and your bowl is empty, I want to make sure you get something as well. If I see you're struggling and I can help out, I want to make sure. So we, it's a belief that is really rooted in advancement of all people. And we work towards that. So that's really been a key part of my whole journey. Going to Schuyler, going to Science, going to Michigan, every stop along the way has been how can I help out others? How can I better myself to help out others? And then how can I have and surround myself with a crew that has the same mentality? You know, I also was, I interned through the Inroads program. And one of the early things that came up in one of our meetings that we had was if you want to soar like eagles, you have to really think about who you're flying with. So you got to think about who you associate yourself with. And that's really been a testament of just being a Rasta. We surround ourselves with as much positive vibes or IRB vibes as we can, because it's important to keep that crew surrounding you. Again, what you might know, what you might not know, but moving through with that kind of level of support will help advance so many things.
Oh, that's amazing. So I think we could wrap it up there. I know you're a busy man. I don't want to take any more of your time. I just want to say thank you for speaking with me. Thank you for being the person that you are, being so willing to be a teacher, so willing to be a leader, so willing to help others out. Um, I know you're making St. Vincent proud, you're making Brooklyn proud, and you're making the whole Caribbean proud. And we're looking forward to seeing, what you have in store in the future.
No, I appreciate that. I would be, upset without mentioning everything I am is because of my family. My parents raised us pretty well, I'd say. My older brother is a principal by Abe Stark. My older sister's a nurse. My younger brother is a special ed teacher. My little sister's a social worker. So by happenstance, we are always invested in the community and the communities we can serve. And that's a testament to my parents and really what they've instilled in us at an early age and allowed us enough latitude and environment to trip up and fail, but always having that support. So that's how we met, Dre, taking that test and many years later, staying in touch, having you visit with your family. So I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate connecting with the Caribbean Today audience. And I'm here. I'm a phone call, text away at any point in time, brother.
My brother, love to you. And, we'll speak, but this was amazing. Have
Awesome,
a good
man.
one.
Thank you, brother.